Well, hey crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming, and boy, I hope you're not sick of Stuffies, because I love Stuffies. And today we're going to be making some adorable beachy Stuffies that are really fun. I'm going to show you all of the tips and tricks for it. We're going to talk about mixing colors, and I am using this super heavyweight canvas duck that I bought at a fabric store. Well, it was a craft store that had a large fabric department in Boise, Idaho called Craft Warehouse. But you can get canvas duck fabric at any fabric store. We'll be using that. We'll be using this beautiful stencil right here. We won't be using the words, just the shapes. Every seashell tells a story. So we'll be using that. We'll be using a variety of different colors of ink because this is fabric: silver, turquoise, and berry blue. Hot glue gun, some of these little dowels, but I have some other ideas. So I'm going to put mine on one of these little wood planks from Dollar Tree, and we're going to be using some stuff and fluff. So I think those are the main things that are the ingredients for this craft. So let's start at the beginning. All right, the beginning is to create your piece of fabric that you are going to turn into a stuffy. So I am going to cut out a front and a back. And then I'm going to show you how to stencil the front. Okay. I need like 10 more craft desks. I never have enough room here. Okay, so we'll stencil this one because it's less wrinkled. And I think we're going to do this. So I did the scallop. I did the little starfish. I did the conch shell. I didn't do this one. I may come back because I kind of like odd numbers. I may come back and do one more. And you know what? Let's do it now. Well, I'm going to do one more star. Let's do that right now while I have everything out. And then I have been working this morning to get everything pretty much taken care of so that we could go all the way through. And okay, so these stencils that I'm using are from MagnoliaDIY.com. They're mesh, they're adhesive, they're not like the stencils of the 80s. They're reusable many times. Oops. And you can tell that this is my third summer with this set. I just bought a new big one just to be able to show you what it looks like, because mine have been used so much you can hardly even see what they are. But they're reusable many times. They're super detailed. These are fabulous. And if you haven't stenciled yet, you've got to give it a try. It's really not hard. It's not hard at all. Okay, so I have my two pieces on, and let's get our inks out. And then I'll talk to you about heat setting in just a minute. Okay, so I'm going to use silver, just a little teeny bit of it. This is berry blue. And this is called turquoise. I guessed the right name. Okay, so I have my three little inks out. And let's see. Let's do this conch shell first. I'm not putting anything underneath it because this particular canvas duck is super thick. But if you were worried if you had a thinner fabric, you could just put a piece of parchment paper underneath it to protect your surface. We'll do that right now just so you can see. Okay, and then I'm just going to take a little stir stick and we're going to do some blobs. We'll do this one first. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my silver and put it in here and there. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my turquoise. And by the way, if you aren't loving how deep and dark this comes out, if you would be wanting more of a pastel look, you can just take any of these colors and stir, you know, mix it on a, not in the pot, but mix it on a plate or something and stir in some white, and then that will lighten everything up. I'll hold this up in just a second. Okay, so I just did blobs. And then I'm just going to push it through the holes in my stencil with a squeegee, which is super duper easy. And I'm going to kind of do my typical swirly do motion. Okay, so I'm just looking to make sure that everything covered, and I do. This is what it looks like. And I'm going to pull off my stencil. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Okay, I'm going to throw this over here in a tub of water. So like I was saying just a minute ago, this is my new one. These are my ones that I have been, this is my third summer using these. And I'll use them next year and the year after and the year after too. Okay, so let's put this over here and let's do our starfish. Same deal. I usually have either not enough or way too much of the medium. I can never get a happy medium, you know, correct amount of product out for some reason. Okay, so I'm going to use a new squeegee, and I'm just going to do that little swirly do thing. I want to make sure that all of it covered. I'm pretty sure I do, but I'm going to peek. Yes, I do. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Oh, I love how vibrant these three colors are together. What do you guys think? Pretty awesome, huh? Okay, so then let me twist my pots closed, because you do want to close your ink and your chalk paste right away. Inks don't seem to get dry as quickly as chalk pastes do, for whatever reason, but you still want to make sure that you get them closed. These are probably some of the same inks that I've had since last summer. Okay, and I'm just going to throw my little tools here in my pot, my tub of water, and we'll go on to the next step, which is the assembling. Okay, so this is the one that I did beforehand, just so I would be ready. And after I stenciled it and it was dry, I pinned a piece of completely plain canvas stuck to the back of it. Why? So I only have to cut it out one time, because why would I want to, you know, cut one out and then have to come back and cut another one out? That would not make any sense to me. And I'm just going to put some pins around the edge of this scallop. And I'm cutting, I'd say, close to 1 inch around it, with kind of rounded corners. Okay, so this one here is totally dry, and I heat set it. I forgot to tell you that. And I'm going to show you how you do it. Let me just get this cut out. I probably could have been a little more careful about where I pinned my fabric on it so I didn't waste any of this canvas duck, which is honestly one of my absolute favorite things to craft with. If you are looking to do these projects, you definitely want to get the thickest, heaviest weight that you can. Okay, let's talk about heat setting. These little stuffies are never going to get put in the washing machine. However, they're probably not going to even go outside. But just in case they did, or they would, you know, be in the elements, or they'd be handled a lot like it was a pillow or something, or a tea towel or a t-shirt or something that I knew I would want to wash, then I would heat set it, because this is ink. Ink is what you need for fabric and ceramics. So I would put my iron on cotton, because this canvas duck can take cotton. This is a piece of parchment paper. And I'm just going to go over and over and over it for 3 or 4 minutes. If it was a t-shirt or a tea towel, I'd turn it inside out and do that. Super easy. My iron is not really on. But I kept it out so that I could show you that part. Okay, so let's do the fun thing. All right, let me show you what your options are to make your stuffy stand up. And you have a lot of options. These are these little dowels that you can get at Dollar Tree. I don't have the package anymore. This was a bunch of little wood pieces that I ordered on Amazon. Gosh, I don't even know when. Several years ago for a project. These are twigs from my yard that I have held on to. I didn't use them all, so I could use these. But we are going to, or I was thinking you could even put your stuffies, stick them, you know, like inside of one of these little old-fashioned clothespins if you wanted. The thing is, you need something that's flat and a little bit wider than one of these dowels to glue to your whatever you're putting this on. I'll show you what I mean. So, we're going to make something like this. And I have already done the base. So if you have a drill, you could drill a hole in something to put it in. You can also use like a wood thread spool. There's all kinds of little wood wagon wheels and things that you can use. But this idea came to me. This is a garland from Dollar Tree. And you guys, it's square beads. They had several different styles. So I took it apart and I'm using the little square pieces. Here's one. Let me get another one out just in case the hole in that one is too narrow. Boy, I was sure messy with this. Okay, so first thing I would do is glue my dowel in it, and see, then I have all this space on the bottom to glue to my wood plank. And I can kind of decide how tall or not I want it to be. Okay, so I'm just going to squirt some hot glue into my little square bead from Dollar Tree. So it's in there for permanent. And by the way, I'm using my low temperature hot gluing device, like always, which if you're new, this is a cheapie. Mine looks terrible, needs to be cleaned up. It's a Sherbander Cool Shot from every craft store. Walmart, Hobby Lobby, probably Michael's, Joann's, Craft Warehouse, you know, any place like that is going to have, it's low temperature, but I feel like it's possibly a little bit lower than even a regular low temperature hot gluing device. And I've had a couple people ask me, why do I call this a hot gluing device? It's because Facebook and YouTube and other social media channels don't like the word GUN, even if it's for gluing and you're using hot glue. So I'm just trying to respect that and not get completely kicked off or banned or something for saying something that was completely innocent, that was, you know, a bot or something heard, you know, there's people listening, heard me say the word GUN, and this is why you need low temperature, and they decided to get me in big trouble. Okay, so I'm going to glue the whole top of this closed, and then I'm going to show you what I wish I would have done. Ouch, it is still a little hot with this one, because this one I thought it would be good to glue it to the back of the canvas stack. But what the result is now it's kind of leaning over and it doesn't look great from the back. But it's on here, so it's done. So you guys don't have to make that same error in judgment as I did of gluing the dowel actually to your little stuffy. While your glue is hot, you want to pinch your pieces together and then look to see, is there anything that you need to trim up before you get it stuffed? Okay, I'm going to say this is good enough. And here's the hole. So I'm using this polyfill crafters stuff from Walmart, but I suppose you can probably find it anywhere. It's fiber fill, it's 20 ounces, and this package says dry polyester fiber fill, ideal for doll making. That's because it's pretty stiff, if that's the right word. It's not like super soft, so I just like that better. Okay, so I'm just gonna poke a bunch of fiber fill in here. Then I'm gonna use the end of a pencil to get it where I want it. What do you guys think about this idea? So you could do this idea and you could make some little stakes to go in your plants. You could make a bouquet of seashells. These could just be a little bowl filler, but I wanted to put them on sticks because that's my favorite. Okay, so I'm just going to use the end of a pencil, just push everything kind of where I want it. That's good. And then I'm going to like drill this dowel into here. Let me consider. Let's glue this one on. It's going to be in the center in the back. I think I'm going to want this one to be short. So and I want to get ideas from you guys. Hey Wanda, how are you doing today? Hello Lynn from Canada. I want to get your opinions, ideas. I'm kind of thinking that when this is finished, it's just going to be sitting here with all my summer stuff that we'll make over the next month or two. And then I'll pull it out next year into my decor in the house. But should I cover it with like Mod Podge and sand or seashells, or what do you think? What should I do with the base? That's what I'm trying to decide. Okay, I definitely want this one to be shorter. I want it to be quite a bit shorter. And I was just using these. These cut through these little dowels easy. I may come back and add some more. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna start, well, I'm gonna put this in here. And then I'm gonna glue the bottom closed. And I did not glue it to the actual fabric. Then I'll kind of massage my stuffing fluff down to the bottom. Let's trim off some of these strings. Where do I get my patterns for my stuff? Okay, well this particular project was made with this beautiful stencil, which you can get at magnoliadiy.com. And if anyone wants to look at this or the inks or anything else, just let me know. Just say complete supply list or link or something like that in the comments. And I will be glad to grab that for you and answer you in the comments so you don't have to hunt it down. But I didn't have a pattern for this project. I stenciled on this canvas deck and cut it out. Generally though, I don't ever really have patterns. I just sort of eyeball things and fiddle around. I make my patterns on computer paper. Sometimes when they're bigger, I'll make it on a piece of, what is this stuff called? Poster board from Dollar Tree. This was a lemon. And this was, what was that? I don't remember. Anyways, most of the time I just toss them, unless I know for sure I'm going to do the project again. But I don't have any particular patterns. I suppose you could ask Mr. Google for a drawing of whatever, and then you could, if you have a access to a printer, you could either increase or decrease the size of it, or just kind of use it as a idea. But that's a great question. Thank you for asking. Okay, let's put this one. You know what? I am going to use these other two that we just did on this same project. So we'll have 5 pieces. And I'm going to do them over here. So I'm going to glue this little guy right here. And he's got, this scallop shell is kind of hiding, but it's okay. When I get the other pieces on, it will make sense. So, what do you guys think? Do you like this idea? It would be cute with sand and shells. That's exactly what I was thinking, Kathy. Oh, and she says she has that stencil and it's great. Yeah, this is my 3rd year using mine. That's why the pieces look so terrible. They look terrible, but they work just fine for a long, long time to come. So just to review, we used the Every Seashell stencil. If anyone wants to look at that, let me know. I'm trying to think of what I made the other 2 years. I know we made bowl fillers. I made several signs. You could do a t-shirt, a tote bag, tea towels. I did tea towels. So we used that stencil. Every Seashell Tells a Story, that you can get at magnoliadiy.com, but I can give you a direct link. And then I used these 3 colors of ink. This is turquoise, this is silver, and this is berry blue. And how do you know that it's ink? It has a white lid. Ink is for fabric and ceramics, and it needs to be heat set with a heat press, an iron, or in the oven. If I had wanted lighter colors, I could have diluted it with a little bit of white. But, whoops. But I wanted these, you know, real vibrant colors. So I stenciled let it dry. I think I am going to do the base of this for sure. Let it dry. Then I heat set it. Then we cut it out, and that was it. Oh, and I see a couple people did stars. Thank you so much. I so appreciate that. The white things at the end of the dowels are from a Dollar Tree garland that I got this year. This is just part of it. That had these adorable little, I mean, I could use this on something. It has square beads, and then it has these little beachy shapes. So I just took it apart, and I have been crafting with those. But you could use sticks from your yard. These dowels right here are the ones that I used. And these guys came from Walmart crafting department, and I think these are like in the section where there's the kiddie crafts, the younger people crafts and craft kits. They're just wooden round dowels, but they were thin enough to fit in the hole of one of these beads to be able to be glued onto this piece. So that's pretty much it. If you liked this project, I hope you did. Let me throw this on the floor so I can get a picture when we're all finished. If you liked this project, do this or this. This is better. Say something to me in the comments. Check to see if you've liked and followed it. This page, DIY Dreaming, tell your friends, sprinkle, all that good stuff. Let me know if you would like the complete supply list, and I'll include everything that we used. You know, even the polyfill, the dowels, this is called a little wood plank from Dollar Tree, and I'll include where things came from. So, I see lots of hearts, and I really appreciate that. The best thing you can do, well, not the best, but a really great thing that you can do for me is help me with the mysterious Facebook algorithms, which there are a lot of people following this page, and then Facebook will only show it to 10. No, more like a couple thousand out of a couple 100,000 followers. So when you engage with me, interact with me, sprinkle, do this, any of that, then they will push it out to just a few more people, and that helps. Adrienne says she loves the Stuffies. This will be super cute. I will finish it up off camera. I'm backwards on my own phone, so I can't figure out where I am in space. I'll finish it up off camera with the other two that we did at the start of this video. And I'll stuff them and put the little dowels in them and put them on this side. And I will get pictures later. Thank you, Justin, for all those hearts. I appreciate that. So I'll get pictures. I'll put them here in these comments. Plus, I'll just set them, I'll post them on DIY Dreaming. Alrighty. Thanks for joining me. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. I don't know what we'll be doing, because I have multiple things in progress, but we'll do something fun. And I'm going to make a decision about this. This was our project yesterday. Did you see that? And here's the other one. Here's the one that I completed. We gilded these oyster shells using this liquid gilding stuff, liquid gold, and I glued them onto this old piece of wood. So that was our project yesterday. But anyways, I will get pictures for everyone. Hello, Sue. Hi, Janet. Hey, Samantha. Alrighty. Have a blessed and wonderful rest of your day. Hope to see you guys tomorrow. Bye.